This episode of the Off-Road Podcast is sponsored by Warren, Power Tank, and Medical Gear Outfitters.
Off-Road Podcast, episode 293, Snow Camping Recap.
Tonight, Coy gets skunked, Ben ditches his wingman, quite literally, and we have guests.
Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast, a podcast about everything off-road. We cover the news, review products, and interview people in the off-road industry. I'm your host, Ben, and I'm here with my co-host, Coy. What? And our guests, Chris and Rick. How's everyone doing?
Good. Doing good. Living the dream.
It's quite weird, Rick. You're usually in the comments.
Yeah, it's a little harder to comment from this side.
Oh, you actually get heard more this way. Just saying.
That's true.
The Weekend Review is brought to you by Medical Gear Outfitters. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting to have a casualty on the trail? Check out medicalgearoutfitters.com to get straightened out. Medical Gear Outfitters has everything you need, whether you're going out for the day or traveling on a year-long expedition. Head over there to get off-road specific kits that meet all of your needs. And while you're there, make sure you use Off-Road Podcast for 10% off.
So you remember I was talking about my my Medical Gear Outfitters stuff going to the wrong address because I shorted myself out. Got it today. Quite happy.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I got myself 2 SWAT tees because I got skinny little kids and regular cat tourniquet won't work so well with them. And then I got myself some Celoxe. It's you've probably seen pictures of it floating around the internet. It's got the little pellets that if someone has like a gunshot wound or a stab wound or whatever, it's like a syringe full of pellets and you just fill them up. So I got one of those just in case, because why not have the stuff you need, right?
Did you have to go get your neighbors to get it from them?
No. So I left out one of the ones in my address. And so they said it was an incomplete address. So they sent it back to Medical Gear Outfitters. So I messaged Dietrich and I was like, hey, dude, can you resend that package to me? Because it's coming back to you because I can't type apparently.
Well, they do have good customer service. So
they do have the best. And apparently they're eliminating some of their free shipping. But if you use that Off-Road Podcast coupon code, that kind of brings it back to what it would be if it had that free shipping. So there you go. So Coy, you've been promoted again, man.
Yeah. I've definitely got a promotion here. I'm moving up the food chain ladder. I'm sad to announce to everybody that I'm co-hosting with Ben today because Aaron had died in a horrible freak accident. We're expecting him to be completely better by next week to be hosting again, but still.
Yeah, he
must have used Medical Gear Outfitters first aid kit then.
Yep. That's how good it is.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been up to a whole lot, actually. I got something really cool in the mail as well. Not as cool as what Ben got, but I got my unemployment check. I've only been waiting for it since September, so it's right. Yeah, they've been really on the ball with it. Luckily, I did. I had some savings and stuff because wow, yeah. And last night on my way home, I was in my car. It's a small little sports car thing, and I drilled what I thought was a dog at first, but then realized a skunk was a skunk right before impact. It was a brutal thud. My bumper split in the middle. Part of, I don't know what you call it, like the smiley face air inlet part of the grill just exploded. And then the plastic like under tray under the car just crushed down and was dragging. I just pulled it into the garage. I haven't even looked to see if my radiator core support stuff's okay. It smelled too bad for me to mess with. So I left it outside kind of all day. And then today I went and kind of sniffed around it and pulled it into the shop, and my dog was really interested in it, and it hopefully doesn't ruin all the stuff in my shop. I have a pop-up camper in there, so if my pop-up camper gets permeated with the skunk smell, I'm gonna be upset.
Yeah, you'll have to.
Those things are nasty.
Tomato soup, right?
Yeah, I got them all over the place out here. I don't know why.
Well, it's because drugs are illegal, and so people like I don't know, released all their skunks. So when the cops come, it's like, no, it's a skunk. That's the smell you're smelling.
I don't know.
Uh-huh. No, it's Oregon. He's
Yeah.
all right.
That skunk should be Oregon state animal, for being totally honest. Like, the beaver's cool and all, but like, I've seen like 3 beavers in my life in the wild. I see skunks almost daily.
No one wants to claim that one. Well, mine's in the main topics. So is our other 2 guys. But a little update from Jeremy since he's not here. His axles still not shipped.
Well, at this point, since they didn't get there in time for the snow camping trip, it's just whenever. Like, it's just whatever now, right?
So he was talking to us on the trip about it, and I want to say, what was it, like another 6 weeks is kind of what they're expecting.
I think that's what he
before
said.
they get the part that they need to build the axles.
Yeah.
And then ship them.
Yeah, so 3 years from now, probably, if ever. Yeah.
As long as he doesn't leave a 1 out of his shipping address, he'll be all right.
Wow, that would be rough. Really rough.
That would be terrible.
Hey guys, we're looking to reach more listeners. We're going to start reading Apple iTunes reviews on air. If you hear yours, send us a message with your address, and we'll send you an Off-Road Podcast sticker. You can find all of our social media by just searching our name. Now, go hit that subscribe button.
Well, let's see here. Oh yeah, Patriot Patch. Don't forget to check out their great selection of patches and join the Patch a Month Club for $15 a month. Receive a matching patch and sticker and that artist proof too. I still haven't seen the announcement for the latest patch, but it could have come. I haven't been looking at my email today. I've been catching up on all sorts of house stuff, so it could be announced any day now or already be announced.
Well, we know it's going to be a Irish, St.
Yeah.
Patrick's themed patch. Like, it has to be, right?
It would be wrong
You
if it wasn't.
think?
Maybe any speculations like Lucky Charms being tax stamps again, maybe?
It's tough to just make a wild guess, but I can say what I'd like. I'd like a Luck of the Irish and a grenade that was like 4-leaf clover shaped.
Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
The news is brought to you by PowerTank, the ultimate mobile onboard air system for performance, versatility, and reliability. They are your source for all air-related accessories. Check them out at powertank.com.
Oh,
So
we got
Doug 42571 wants to know what Rick is drinking.
Ooh, being friends with Rick, probably Crown, Vanilla Crown.
With some coffee.
Yeah. Coffee and Bailey's.
Irish
Evening drink.
There we go. All right, so our first story here tonight is, this has been all over Facebook today. Is Harley's decided to go overland. They're releasing I don't know what to really call it. The Pan American bike. Christopher, you know a little more about this than I do.
Yeah, so they've been talking for a few years, really, of trying to get back into different genres besides street touring. Back in 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, they actually had off-road motorcycles from Harley. So they're trying to get back into that and get going better. This new one, this Pan American, looks pretty cool. It has to take some design cues from some metric bikes. It also takes design from some of Harley stuff. Like the front fairing on there looks like the latest Road Glide front fairing, just kind of slightly brought down and shrunk down a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know.
The front fairing with a headlight looks just like my wife's vacuum. That LED. You guys see that, right? It has definitely like a Shark vacuum cleaner look to it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I like Chris mentioned. I mean, what Harley really got its name in World War II? Was it World War II? They were using them a lot.
World War One, World War II, yeah.
Yeah, and those guys came back and they wanted those bikes, and I can see why. Looking at the old bikes and seeing this kind of as a comeback, it's kind of cool. I like it. I don't hate it. I don't know if the price tag they're talking about is something I'd ever be able to afford. But I'm poor.
Eventually,
Yeah.
you might be able to afford it, but
Yeah,
they're asking 20 grand for it.
So the special edition model's 20. They're saying it's going to start about 17, just a little over 17, low 17s. So that's not terrible.
Compared to like the 1200 KTMs or BMWs or like the Honda Africa or something, which it looks like this will be kind of competing with. It's right in the ballpark. Like, that's not ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, that's
I'd love to ride.
Harley's been lacking in years is they've had their one base set of nothing but street, and a lot of the younger generation, they don't want just a street side. They want the adventure side, or they want faster street bikes, not just touring or cruising. That's where Harley's lost a lot of their base. So they're trying to find something to bring people back into it. Like years ago when they brought that V-Rod, that was their attempt at trying to go into a street bike, but it never really stuck around. Never had that quite the comfort and the look that they needed to be successful in that.
I honestly love the aesthetics of Harleys. It's the cosplay part that you have to do when you get a Harley, the dress up and the skull rings and the new like you're 50 years old and you're getting new tattoos and you're an orthodontist. I'm not sure that I'm into that, but aesthetically Harleys are one of the best looking bikes for sure.
Yeah,
no question.
I see Koi's watched Wild Hogs.
Yeah. Here's my question with this Harley. When you're out in the woods, is it going to be a true Harley? Like 4 miles away, I was here, this guy, blah, just blazing through the woods with straight pipes. You just hear every downshift. As soon as he hits a canyon, he just gets on it. Is that going to continue with the Harley adventure bike?
No, they're probably adventure guys probably going to keep it quiet. It's not even a twin cam; it's a V4. So that's gonna be interesting.
I can see someone straight piping it anyways, just because.
Well, yeah, you get these idiots on these, crotch rockets doing the same shit. So
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, somebody's gonna get one that's all black and chrome, and it's gonna get straight piped.
Well, our next story here is, Texas with their nice deep freeze lately, and really half the country's been frozen, but a guy powered his house with the built-in generator. Apparently, the F-150s have an onboard generator that produces 7.2 kilowatts of power. So if your house runs out of power, apparently you can power your house. So it's
and 7.2 kilowatts is a good chunk of power. That's bigger than most homeowner generators. I work construction. We have a generator, mounted to the side of the truck. And I believe it's a 4500, and we run chip and guns and core saws and all kinds of stuff off that thing. So 7.2 is pretty much power your whole house. If you have a well, I'm not sure if you're going to kick that on, but everything else besides your dryer, like your fridge, your freezer, it's not going to have any problems. It's going to run a whole house pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm curious, seeing this with its popularity, is that going to be the Texas edition now? Or is it going to be on the Overland edition? It's the F-150s. They're going to do an Overland edition, and be like, okay, guys, you can power quite literally the everything and the kitchen sink.
Yeah, you're gonna have a plug-in rooftop tent. Runs on 110, powers up and down super fast. Got a heat lamp in there,
Oh my goodness, that'd be nice for this last weekend. I've got that 120 plug in the Forerunner, or in the my rooftop tent, and like the wires aren't connected to anything. It's like, hey, now I could just throw an extension cord and have some power in the tent, right?
I'm a little curious how long this truck will run the generator, idling on a tank of fuel. I'm guessing they have like a 30-gallon tank, 25-gallon tank or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a small generator, and it's obviously a much smaller motor and stuff. They run about 12 hours and on 2.5 gallons. So I'm curious how long your F-150 can just sit there and idle and power your whole house.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if it says anything. No, it doesn't say anything on how long it can run.
Uses gas-powered F-150 to charge up a Tesla.
There we go.
That's one thing I when I first saw this article, and I imagine all these people in Texas out of power, and there's probably just, a fraction of a percent that have a Ford F-150 with the hybrid generator. And that's sitting in your driveway running, and your whole house is lit up, and you're having a good time, and other people are literally freezing to death. I feel like, as a good person who's never stole a vehicle, I just feel like their power would go out, and they just walk outside and see a snapped in half cord and burnout marks out of their driveway. Because I'd just be like, yeah, I need your generator. Like, it's literally running.
Yeah. Well, and you've got the people that are running their cars in their house to warm up their house and not realizing about CO2. So,
it's sad that it's that cold, but
yeah.
I feel like after about 2 minutes, you surely start getting an idea when your eyes are watering and you're coughing. Like,
yeah. I'll just leave it there.
Go prepared with Warren Industries. They produced the first recreational winch in 1959 and lead the industry with their dedication to quality and reliability. When you dig yourself in deep, make sure you have the right tools to get yourself out. Get Warren equipped and go where others can't. Now, let's get ready for adventure and head into our main topic.
Well, this week, not only are we joined by Rick, who we've regularly talked about on the show, we're joined by my cousin Christopher. We all got to go out and go snow camping, with the exception of Coy and Aaron, because apparently Oregon, it's too far of a drive. Sissies, I don't know. And apparently Jeremy and Coy aren't allowed to be in the same place at the same time.
It turns out, we can't actually get in the same place at the same time. There'll be a quantum entanglement if we get too close. Could be catastrophic. So,
yeah. Oh yeah. Darwin also brought this up. Ford asked their dealers to loan out their 150s off their lots with whoever had that package, which is pretty cool. It's cool to see them helping out people. Well, we should start this off with the Fast 5 facts. Chris, I'm going to start off with you. New or old vehicle?
Old.
Summer or winter camping?
All of it. Whenever.
Rock, sand, snow, or mud?
Rock and some mud.
Got a lot of that in Hawaii, didn't you?
Yeah.
Favorite vehicle brand?
Toss it between Jeeps and Chevys.
And favorite tire?
Ones that turn. I really don't have a favorite tire.
All right, Rick, you're up, man. New or old vehicle? You're muted. Nope, it's on your screen.
You can unmute him, Ben.
No, I tried.
There we go. Old.
All right, and summer or winter camping?
Summer.
Rock, sand, snow, or mud?
I don't know. I'd say sand.
Favorite vehicle brand?
Jeep, of course.
Oh no, you're muted. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Favorite tire?
Watch for driver signals. Favorite tire has been my what are those I'm running? Those BF Goodrich?
Are those BF Goodriches?
What are those stock ones they are on that thing? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's only a BFG. At Mud Terrains on the Rubicons.
Yeah, they're the ATs.
Yeah, he's got an All-Train. I can't remember, but those things are really good.
They do work. I was surprised. I would have never picked them had they not been on my rig.
All right. Well, we've kind of got an idea about these guys. Rick, we're going to have you start off with that first day because I didn't join in until later. Neither did Christopher. So how did that first day going out start out? Rick, apparently you have KO2s.
Yeah, KO2s, right. So we went, do you want to start out by telling folks where we went and what we're doing?
Yeah, just start off with like how you guys met up for that day.
Yeah, so we planned a trip, the off-road podcast crew, and then invited a couple extras along to do a snow trip out of Randall area, south of there, and into the snow, of course. And so I met up with Jeremy the first day because his Jeep's still broken, and yeah, what do you do? And so he had to ride in my Jeep for the trip. So he came to my house and loaded all his gear in, and off we went. Went up to Morton and hung out at the coffee shop there. We found a good coffee shop that we liked. The what is that? The Rivers Coffee House. Good, really good coffee. They roast it there, so it's pretty tasty. And then we went across the street to the Bear Ridge Smokehouse, and that's a really nice meat mart with cheeses and meats and all that. So we loaded up for the trip. Got some really nice steaks and summer sausage and cheese and stuff. Pretty sweet setup. And we're waiting for Aaron Kravick to join us. And so he was running a little. What's that?
I said, what? Aaron was late? That's unheard of.
Well, he had worked like a 14-hour shift the day before, and had been working 12-hour days every day before that. So he was a little behind on his packing chores. It sounds like. So anyway, we met up with him. We happened to be driving out to the main drag to go stage somewhere to meet him, and he comes driving right in front of us. So we pulled out right behind him, and off we went, and headed on up to the snow. After we fueled up there in Randall, and got a couple last minute supplies, but went on up, and we thought, man, the conditions are good. We're going to get up to Samuelson's secret hide, camp spot, and life is going to be good because we've been trying to go there for 3 years in a row now, and so we're like, man, this is it. We're going to make it. Traction was good. Snow level was just about right. And as we gained elevation, the snow level really piled up, and we got to the point where we only made like a couple of miles in like 5 hours or something. Of course we had to stop and have lunch and goof off and stuff like that, but it got to the point where I was leading, and we'd punch through the berm I would leave. I'd back up and punch through it, and I'd only get like a car length. One Jeep length every punch. And then, I'd do that a couple of times, get stuck. They'd have to yard me out of the back. And then we kept doing that. So it was pretty slow going. And finally we decided, it was like 4:00, 4:30. It's time to find a camp for the night. So we actually turned around, which was, took an hour in itself, just because it was so slick and all that. Where we had been on it, it really was slick, and the snow was really deep. I had it piled up over the front of my hood, after I would hit one of those piles. And so we went back to a camp that we'd been to last year, this group. And so now we called this camp Camp Disappointment. So it's the third year we tried to get to another camp and didn't make it.
We've got Aaron Kravick commenting Jeep length. What, that wasn't our standard unit measurement.
That's right. Exactly.
Ben, I'll just jump in. Can you reply to Virgil there? I don't have commenting power. Even as a co-host now, I still don't have comment reply power, sadly. Oh, and what size tire are you running on your Jeep? Are you on 37s, Rick?
35s.
You're on 35s, okay.
Yeah.
And you're Rubicon, so you're locked front and rear as well.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah, so it was tough going, man. It was we just kept thinking, we'll just get around the corner, we'll just get up over this hump, whatever, and every once in a while, we'd go like 40, 50 feet, and you're like, whoa, this was something. And so then that would get your hopes up, you'd think, oh, we can keep going. And yeah, we started gauging our, trying to figure out how far we had to go to get to this camp. And we were figuring out in Tundra lengths, Toyota Tundra lengths. So that was, okay, how many Tundras are we going an hour and stuff like that? It was pretty comical.
Did you, Aaron's asking here in the comments, if you used your lockers much?
It turned out using the rear was the best combination. I kept trying everything, with lockers, without lockers and all that. And it seemed like the best combination was really just the rear lockers. And because if you started sliding, slipping at all, you would just get stuck instantly. If you actually spun your tires, it was so slick, you would just get stuck. So that was the goal, is just not spin those tires. And so that, like I said, I just tried everything, and that was really the best.
Does your Jeep have like so Toyota has like the A-Track kind of off-road traction control. Does Jeep have anything similar to that?
I'm not familiar with that. They've got, like anti-skid and such, like most cars have now.
So instead of a locker, as you're driving, like one tire starts spinning, it'll use the brakes to grab the spinning tire to, you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just, they're just both locked. If one turns, they both turn.
I think the only Jeep that really has a system any bit similar to that is that the little ones, what are they called? The
Liberty, Renegade.
The Renegades have
Trailhawk.
Yeah, they have a system similar to that, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm not even 100% sure on that.
Hey, but it's trail rated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a trail hawk. Obviously, hawks are very good on the trail.
Well, I mean, with how light one of those would, it might have just gotten on top of the snow and cruised along.
Maybe, but I doubt it.
I want to do a quick game here in the commenting section. Who agrees with me that Chris looks like he's related to Brendan Fraser? I thought I knew him for a little bit, and then I realized that I knew him from Return of the Mummy. Please comment and verify that I'm not insane.
I don't know if they can verify that you're not insane. That might be a little over the top.
Yeah,
I don't want to lie.
That's going to take a few doctors there, Coy.
Yeah. Do we have any doctors in the house that can verify that Coy is not insane?
So, so you guys made it, and turned around, and went back to Camp Disappointment.
Yeah. We finally got back there, and it was late, and so we were just starting to get dinner and get camp set up in the, just pretty much starting to get dark, and we didn't have a whole lot of firewood. I brought some, and so we had kind of a, we were trying to conserve at that point a little bit, so it wasn't really a camping trip at that point because we didn't have a big fire. We didn't have Samuelson there to load us up, but we made do, and
Nope, we lost your audio there, Rick. And he muted himself.
Yeah, Rick's cutting out there for a second.
Yeah,
you're still out, Rick.
Yeah, looks like my headset.
You're back.
Looks like you're back. Died. So yeah, so the two Aaron Kravick and Jeremy decided to go to bed. They were bush. We got tired of waiting for Ben. Said he was going to be there at 10:30, and now it's 11:30 midnight or something.
Don't worry, I got tired of waiting for him too, and all damn day.
he showed up at work, but then like, are you ready to leave?
It's more. What's going on? Where are they at? I'm gonna have to ride with you, or can I drive this truck?
Yeah. So I had a long work day. I had unexpectedly gotten a job on that day where we were doing a lift on a Tundra. So it was a 6-inch lift, and so I couldn't get the day off. I tried to start working on it earlier so I could leave earlier. Day did not work out as well as I wanted to. And I actually didn't end up leaving work until a half hour later than I normally leave work at 6:30. And then I ran home, grabbed Henry, grabbed the dog. I'd messaged Rick and finally gotten a reply where they were camping and that they were that it was truckable or grandpa truckable is what I called it, because I had said Chris was driving a stock GMC with all terrains, and they said, yeah, you should be able to make it. So I messaged Chris and I was like, well, let's just leave from wherever we're leaving from and we'll meet in Randall. And Chris beat me by about a half hour. And
Weird.
Yeah, he did. He beat me by quite a bit. I had a few things and even forgot a few things. I forgot my boots and Henry's boots. I never turned back for him though. So we headed out and started driving up the mountain. And I've noticed that at night, especially like last year, Aaron and Aaron had some issues. Was it Aaron and Aaron? Last year, Rick?
They did what?
Had issues coming up because it was
Yes.
Yeah, they were having issues coming up. It seems at night. I don't know.
I think it was mostly Samuelson because he had so much firewood.
Yeah,
he had about 4 cords of firewood in the back of his rig.
Well, I think what happened the problem for this year for Christopher was he lacked firewood in the back of his truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one spot I just bounced. Started spinning tires, bouncing off to the side and backing up. Couldn't stay in the rut, and then just got high centered in the snow.
Yeah, and then
just nothing after that.
And I got a little too far ahead of Christopher, and I couldn't back down. I started to try and back down, but I had a corner and probably 100 feet after that, and my rig just would not back down, and it was a terrible spot on a hill. So I was like, well, Christopher, wait there. I'll be back with help. I'm going to go get help. We're about a mile away from camp. And Rick had decided that he was tired of waiting for me and that I should be there by now. So
I figured you were dead in a ditch.
Yeah, figured I was in a ditch. Actually, though, it wasn't me in a ditch. It was my cousin.
It wasn't a ditch, just stuck on the side.
So what you're saying is the ditch thing is contagious if you're around Ben?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. And so, yeah, did you guys have any trees you had to cut down on the way up, Rick?
None.
No trees. Last year it was 47 trees, I think it was.
Something like that. 42. It was a bunch.
It was a truckload of trees. This year we had no trees in our way. On our way back, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, no trees on the way up. So yeah, and then I made it to camp, and we all made it to camp probably about 12:30.
It's around there, yeah.
And got all set up and went to bed. Ran my heater set up, did the tents. Chris used my Gazelle. I slept in the rooftop tent.
Oh yeah, but before you got there, how'd you get that truck up here?
Oh yeah, Rick, I ran across Rick. Rick was tired of me waiting for me, and then so I ran across Rick, and I'm like, "Hey Rick, my cousin's stuck about a quarter mile back, and I couldn't turn around. So can you go save him?"
And I'm looking at him like, "So you just left him there to die in the ditch?"
Yeah.
Don't worry.
And then you want me to go down there and rescue him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty much exactly how he voiced it too.
That's a pretty sweet power move on Ben's part, because not only is he not having to do the work of recovery, he's just like, oh hey, I couldn't turn around, so could you go get him, and I have to set up camp now. But he's also humiliating Chris by like sending more people down to get him, like it's a bigger deal than it is,
Yeah, and by the time we got back to camp, a bunch of the beer was already gone. So that he was obviously way ahead of us there.
Sorry. I mean, I can't blame Ben too much. I would do the same thing.
What?
It's that family bond you guys have.
Yeah, maybe we need to learn from that.
Yeah, just abandon Ben next time. It's okay. Send help though.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we know somebody's coming along, it's fine. But yeah, otherwise, if it's just the two of us,
Oh.
I would go find a place I could turn around and come back. But
Yeah, no, and that was the thing. Is the spot we were at was, I was halfway up the hill and Chris had started on the hill,
yeah,
and so it was like where I met Rick would probably have been the first spot that I could have turned around. In my
So
opinion.
what were you all airing down to out there?
Well, that's kind of funny. Chris and I were only down to 20.
What?
well, I got
Only down to
stock 1500 Sierra with 18-inch wheels.
Yeah.
It's not like and it's not even my truck. It's my father-in-law's truck. I bought a Jeep a couple weeks ago. I started driving it back up from Oregon and just throwing codes like crazy. I wish you had the video on here. Come tearing apart the try to take out the valve cover. Number 5 intake rockers just free rolling, just free. Nothing there. I try to repair it over the week, hoping I can get away with just replacing the lifter and cam shot too. So it's like, all right, well, take something else. Otherwise, I
that sucks, but
have
that's
an
kind of
XJ
part
up
of
there
the.
instead. Might have done a bit better. Maybe not.
It's kind of part of the whole Jeep thing is throwing codes, though, isn't it? Like that's part of the experience.
Yeah, but when it's knocking and screaming at you, and you actually test the compression on it, and it doesn't even read on the gauge. Nothing on the gauge. It's like that's not a good thing.
It was a XJ, you said?
Yeah.
It can run one cylinder down.
Oh yeah.
Well, I drove it all the way up from Central Oregon to Tacoma.
Hey,
Like
say
that.
what I want. I say what I want to say about Jeeps. I'll admit that, but yours is the what's the inline 6 in yours?
Yeah, 4.0.
Yeah, those are incredible motors.
They are.
Yeah, that's probably the best engine that Jeeps has put out.
That's what I'm going to upgrade to when mine goes.
I wouldn't blame you. Run a cylinder down, and
I hope you're going to run like an 18-speed on it or something.
In 40s.
I'm almost to highway speed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So I started at 10 psi and then ended up going down to 5 later on. And Kravik, he started at, I don't know what he started at, probably 5 or 8 or 10 or something. But by the time we were done, he had 2 that were 0.
That was great.
He didn't debead though.
No, he didn't. We didn't even know it until he got down on the flatter ground.
Yeah, because
did he have like
turned around? You guys had quite a bit of problems turning around that first day, right?
Yeah, we did. It was he says he started at 10, but we were winching him sideways at one point, and trying to watch that wheel because it looked like we're like, oh, we're gonna pull it off the bead, and that was the side we were winching to, on the one that was flat, but he made it out, no problem. Apparently, he sounds like he spun the tire on the wheel because when he aired up, he said he had. Of course, that could be later in the show, but he ended up having a little out of balance issue on the way home.
Oh, that's great. So yeah, we got back to camp and went to bed and woke up. Whenever we woke up, I didn't want to wake up. I was tired. I woke up at 3 a.m. the day before, that way I could have everything was packed. So yeah,
and your tent didn't burn down.
And my tent didn't burn down. At least that.
The new diesel heater.
Yeah.
Did your tent leak at all?
No leaks. But there is condensation.
I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but I mean, I was looking forward to some carnage, whether it was a fire or a flood.
I was looking forward to some video of it.
Yeah. So I do have one problem with the tent, and it's fixable. It's condensation on the inside from breathing. So I need to vent it somehow. So roll up a window or something. I just, it's snow camping. I don't want to roll up a window. You know what I mean?
I feel like you might be attacking that from the wrong end. Have you considered not breathing in the tent?
I've tried, but when I've got an 8-year-old in there too, there's only so many mouth breathers, and he was like buried in
Wow.
his sleeping bag. I stayed nice and warm. There was no click, damn it, click, damn it, click, damn it. Unfortunately for Kravik, he did for a little bit. I stayed nice and warm. There was no click, damn it, click. So yeah. Let's see. Second day we woke up. What did we have for breakfast? Or what did you guys have for dinner that night before?
Oh man, we had some delicious steaks from that Bear Smokehouse there in Morton. They were really good, and asparagus, some nice roasted asparagus with some really nice spices on it. It was quite delightful, and some rice pilaf.
These are like some fancy overlander meals. I swear, my wife's. Oh, how did the diesel heater work? Is a question we got here. For me, the diesel heater did not work. My hose was too long and it wasn't insulated.
It was like 40 feet long.
It was 25 feet long.
That's 40 feet in the cold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it was teed off of a 4-foot hose, and then the other end was going to Christopher's tent, which was, I don't know, about 8 feet away.
Yeah, around there.
So Christopher had some nice heat, except
you only stayed on for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Shut off. It shut off after 2 hours. So I got to figure out how to turn off that setting, because after that, Christopher froze the rest of the night.
Yeah, finally woke up, restarted it, and got warm again, and then he shut it off on me at one point. About 5:30.
I woke up.
I started waking up. Cold again. What the hell?
Yeah, I woke up and I was like, "Oh, it's still running. I'm gonna wake up here soon," and shut that off. I was nice and warm in my tent, so I didn't care to think about anyone else. Sorry, Christopher.
Yeah, sure. First you ditch me, then you freeze me.
Yeah, I'm great family. But yeah, we woke up. We had breakfast. We had some eggs and what was it? Bacon, sausage.
Yep.
Was there anything else? I feel like I'm forgetting something else.
That was it.
Hash browns.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Jeremy hooked us up, man. He planned the meals and kind of orchestrated it. He was basically our camp chef, so it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, it seems like anytime we go on a trip with Jeremy, he's the camp chef.
Yeah, we got to keep him around.
He's good for something.
Even if he doesn't have it works.
I'm going to start calling my oven the Jeremy oven.
There you go. Perfect.
It's a camp chef oven.
Perfect.
Just call it Jeremy.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
I like how, Ben and Chris have like a real Captain America Bucky like relationship, because you literally just left him behind and then froze him. I mean, I don't know how those nerd comic book stuff works, but I've heard that's what happens.
Oh man. Well, at least I'm Captain America. I have a cool shield, right?
That's it.
Yeah, that's about it. So we decided to do some wheeling and try and see if we could get farther this next day. And we got exactly to where you guys got before. And we got
we got 2 tundras further.
2 tundras further?
Yeah.
Yep. And then
that actually sounds like a long ways.
It does.
Yeah. I made about 2 tundras farther.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we were saying it, because if we were looking at how many feet we made it, that was pathetic.
Yeah. But we hung out there some more. Something really funny happened there was the boys were playing in the snow. So Chris brought his son, Julian, who's the same age as my son Henry, and they were playing in the snow right next to us. And there just happened to be this little hill that went down to this little stream creek thing, and Henry got too close to the edge and slid down onto like a branch or
something,
some bush thing, I don't know, but he was stuck. And we threw down a little rope for him and like, hold on, we'll pull you up. And he just didn't have the arm strength or the hand strength to hold on. So we took the rope and then we like tied it, wrapped it so it would like cinch tight, and then he whined too much about that, and then we grabbed my tree strap and a shackle, and we did it
For a serious recovery.
for a serious recovery. You know, you got to use you got to go prepared with some worn tree straps, and we how'd you hook it? Was just kind of
It was just an underarm sling.
yeah, just an underarm sling, and I grabbed hold and pulled Henry out, and he lost his boot
In the snowbank somewhere.
in the snowbank. So Chris,
There's some snow in my boot.
and had some snow boots on. Wasn't worried about the water. So Chris went down with his shovel, dug out his boot, and then as Chris is good there, Julian's been recording this entire event of as it's been happening, and Henry's whining, and Chris is down there digging up the shovel, and Julian starts going around to videotape his dad and starts going down there. And, you know, I start yelling at him, we just pulled out Henry. Why are you going down there to get stuck too? Yeah.
So just to clarify, you abandon your cousin, and then you froze him, and then you let your son jump over a cliff.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Let him get buried alive.
Well, don't worry. Karma was looking out for me this trip, because just on that little adventure right there, I fell probably 5 times, slipping in the snow.
Karma was looking out for you or looking at you?
Looking at me really hard.
Just looking at him and laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just slipping and falling, and you know, I'm not a little person, so when I fall hard. One of the times I fell,
I thought there was an earthquake.
Yeah. Christopher was laughing so hard that he came over to help me get up, and then he fell. Yeah, karma's always got it out for me, as you'll learn later just how much karma's had it out for me.
So we got 2 SAR guys there, and none of you know how to do like a French bowline.
There's 3 of us, and I know how to do a bowline.
A French one, so that you can sit in it with
difference.
Oh, you Google it.
Oh.
The French one surrenders quickly. No, a French bowline. It's like a way to make a harness with a kind of like a harness. It's like a lifting harness.
Yeah,
and there's a couple
on and a bite. Yeah, it'd be helpful if we actually had a proper rope for that one.
Yeah, we weren't.
Besides,
just recovery gear.
Recovery gear. Yeah.
If you have
tie very well.
If you have a flat tree strap, there is a way to make a pretty good harness out of those that works really well. I can't really explain it, but
yeah, I'll Google it, and I'll probably throw it in the show notes. As Kravik has said here, the French bowline doesn't help; it just runs away. So
sounds like Ben.
Yep. I am French, sort of, kind of a bit. So yeah, but there was 3 SAR guys there, which is funny because me, Rick, and Kravik are all in the same unit. So yeah, be prepared to get stuck, guys. But we turned around.
Clearly not the rope team unit, but still.
No, clearly not. No, we're the 4x4 unit. We don't.
I was hooking up that he had the rope rigged around him. I was hooking it to my bumper. I don't, that's all I know. I was ready to take off with it.
Couple wraps.
Hit it.
Punch it. We turned around. Actually, that went really well this time. At least for me, I turned around pretty easily. I had to learn on how to gas and brake that a little better, get a little more aggressive with my forward and backwards momentum. But after that, I turned around really good. Actually, we all did. None of us had any problems. But we also were on the hunt for firewood because our fire was pathetic, quite pathetic. So we found some dead tree and drug it back to camp, which was fun, I'd say. And then we
that was nice. We drug a couple of trees back to camp, some dead ones we found, and cut those up. And man, we had lots of firewood then.
Oh yeah, we had half a cord probably.
So it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it was kind of fun because Jeremy was chopping it, I was stacking it. We had and Christopher was helping stack it, and the boys were kind of helping with stacking wood. I say kind of. They needed to get yelled at quite a few times to grab wood.
Yeah.
So did you guys have the electric chainsaw off at any point that we had talked about?
No, we did not. There was no electric chainsaw. I don't even think Kravik brought his. He just brought his gas. Rick, you didn't even bring a chainsaw, right?
No, I didn't.
So we just had the one saw, just Kravik's poo on.
Yeah, we didn't have Samuelson there, so we couldn't do the chainsaw off.
Yep, it's pretty pathetic.
During our ice storm, I was cleared my road. I have the electric, whatever the biggest steel electric one they make right now is, and I cleared all the way down my gravel lanes, maybe 3/4 of a mile, and then kind of cleared all the way to the highway. And one spot I was clearing, that was somebody's driveway, and it was kind of in the road, and I was cutting it, and then the people came out and started helping me, and they tried to pay me, and I said, no, I'm just clearing the road, it's fine. And then when I left, they had stuck $25 in my truck, so I actually only need to do that 37 more times before the saw pays for itself.
So 37, not bad.
Yeah, there was a couple of years ago with one of the snowstorms, I helped pull a lady out of her driveway, and I was like, no, I'm just doing this for fun, whatever. And her dad wanted to fight me over not taking money. He's like, you're gonna take the money or I'm gonna call the cops.
Wait, what?
I'm like, okay, I'll take the money.
Yeah. Call the cops.
So,
call the cops.
I got a good stuck story, not for Ben, but he was stuck, but he was more broken down. I was living in Hawaii, stationed in Hawaii, and guys broke down in the middle of the road. I couldn't fix him there. I could see what was wrong. I couldn't fix him there. So I told him back into my house, put him on a jack stands, fix his car. He could leave. He lost his shifter. The shift link came off. I come home from work the next day. I got a case of Budweiser and oysters on my porch. I talk about people paying. I was like, I don't eat oysters, and sorry, I'm not going to do Budweiser. I get the shit away. But
I'm going to be honest, porch oysters, I feel like a suspect. Like
that's a
great way to get
fresh.
Food poisoning.
Frozen, so
put some water on your porch. I don't know what he's saying there. So yeah, we brought the wood back, got a nice fire going. I mean, that I would say that fire was of Samuelson proportion.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At one time, I was on the other side of Kravik's tundra, and I could see the tips of the flames over the top of it. So we had a nice good fire going. We also had a Jeep and a Toyota drive by us. Yeah, and so we were like, well, if we don't see them in an hour or two, maybe we'll go see what's up, see how stuck they are, because they looked. Oh yeah, I'll share that picture here on the show notes too.
That's one of the kids standing there.
Oh
next
yeah,
to the fire.
Julian right next to the fire, so as tall as an 8-year-old. Well,
taller
than an 8-year-old. We would we eat that night for dinner?
Philly.
Yeah, Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, those were good.
Yeah, we didn't we have those last year, Rick?
We had those on the Nevada trip.
I think I was drunk that night.
Yeah, so we had Philly cheesesteaks for dinner. Really good. Nice, easy dinner too. You guys got the steaks from that meat shop in Morton and chopped it all up, and gotta love when you have Chef Jeremy with us, you know.
Oh yeah.
So Granite Coy's wife and Aaron's wife did some really good cooking too on that trip.
Indeed.
Let's see. Then
wow. I did like way more cooking than my wife, so now you're basically saying my cooking was crappy. Thank you, Ben.
I was not saying that.
I made freaking ice cream, bro.
Oh, you did make ice cream.
True.
That is true.
That's not really cooking, is it?
I mean, it was better than our
technically
ice cream
no.
With winter camp the year.
I made a lot of stuff. My feelings are officially hurt.
Oh.
Yes, exactly. I have one tear coming down the outside of my cheek.
I see it. I think. Let me look close there. Yeah.
It's the kind that Indians have when they're being persecuted. The one that comes down the outside.
After dinner, sometime afterwards, Jeremy, Rick, and Kravik all hopped into Rick's Jeep to go see what was up, and apparently they had gotten stuck up there.
No, they weren't stuck. They had just gotten as far as they could, which was as far as we could. They couldn't go any further.
Yeah.
And then, we chatted with them for a while. They turned out to be a couple of nice guys that lived in the, kind of local up here. And, just they didn't seem all that prepared. I mean, they didn't have a winch on either rig. And, they had some traction boards, so I guess they were all good for anything. And they were set up with camp. They had their fire in the middle, pretty much in the middle of the road, and their tent off to the side. And,
how much firewood did they have? Did they have like a store-bought bundle?
It looked like it, yeah. Just a couple of small pieces.
Versus our giant fire.
Yeah, I know. It kind of felt bad. They had this little teeny fire, and we're just like raging on.
Yeah.
And then we went to turn around. Once we chatted with him, we should have invited him back, but we went to turn around, and it was really tight because now there's 2 rigs there, their camp and their campfire, and we're trying to turn around, and I kind of drove on over their fire with the Jeep and kind of smothered a bit. And Eric Kravik says, brought me back to my firefighting days, kind of put out their fire. Oopsie.
Your natural instincts kicked in.
Oh yeah. Rick trying to build a fire. He's like, here, let me smother this fire and put it out for you guys.
Throw more wood on it so it quits burning it.
Yeah.
I was a volunteer firefighter for a while, and every single one of those guys were pyromaniacs. It's kind of a firefighter thing. I feel like they were one step away from being arsonists and decided to be firefighters.
Yeah.
We've got a question about how well my traction boards worked, and I didn't bring
your plastic boggers.
No, I didn't bring them. They're actually still sitting right here next to the computer. I just left them at home.
When we interviewed Virgil, he called them plastic boggers, and I cannot call them anything else now. I've changed completely.
I like it. Yeah. So they came back to camp, told me about Rick trying to run over their fire or running over their fire, and we hung out some more and went to bed. We almost forgot the French log, right? Is it French log or
Swedish fire log?
Swedish fire log. We did another one of those. That one did really good this year. I was impressed with it.
Yeah,
cut it with a chainsaw 6 ways, long ways, and built a fire on top.
Yep.
Yeah, they cut it, then they wanted me to start the fire in it. So I just started a little tiny fire right in the middle and just let it keep dropping down in there, and pretty soon it was just perfect little fire going. You could have cooked on it or whatever, and we enjoyed that. So we had 2 fires.
Those are super fun to make. When I go camping, a lot of times I'll make like 4 of those that I have going on because there's a couple different ways to make them.
Yeah.
I like to. If you have a chainsaw, you just go bar straight down, and 3 or 4 sided. So you cut a triangle or cube out, and then at the bottom, however length your bar is, cut another cube into it so that it's like an L-shaped hole in the log. So and then you just drop some stuff in there. Yeah, it does like a turbo fire jet thing, and it's really cool.
Nice.
That'd be fun to do. Might have to do that next time, Rick.
Yeah. How come we didn't do that in Nevada?
Good question.
Nevada was already on fire.
That's true. There was enough smoke there for all of us.
Oh yeah, there was definitely. So we went to bed. That's about it for that day, right? No dessert.
Well, I kept dessert flowing off and on.
Oh yeah, we did have alcohol dessert. I pulled out some bamboo rum, some Dr. Pepper. That was good. Some Crown and vanilla crown.
Oh yeah. Dessert whiskey.
Dessert whiskey. There we go. Went to bed. This time I did not even bother with the heater for myself. We just plugged it into Christopher's tent and called it good, except for the boys we'd let them go hang out in the tent during the day, and they'd cranked the heat up all the way and killed my Jackery's battery. So I charged it with the Forerunner because it just used a 12-volt plug, and got it kind of charged up enough to work for the night. And that night I discovered a problem.
Your tent was on fire.
No, my rig was not on fire. I'd kind of known about this problem, but I didn't think it was nearly as bad. It was. I had a brake. My brake light had come on. I was like, oh, is it like my sensor or what? Turns out it was just low brake fluid. So I filled up my brake fluid at work, topped it off, finished off the bottle of spare brake fluid that I had in the Forerunner, and drove off that day for the trip. And that night, when I'd started up the Forerunner, that light had come on again. Discovered that my reservoir was yet again empty. So the next morning, when we were packing up to leave, started up the Jeep again, or the Forerunner again, pushed on the brake, and did it a couple times, and brake pedal went straight to the floor, and I had barely any pressure, if any. So yeah, no brakes, and the ABS lights started going off, beeping, letting me know that something was wrong. So all the dash lights were on, typical Ben scenario.
Well, the good thing is in the snow you don't really need brakes.
Oh yeah, that was the good thing. Yeah, just for really low and go. So Brick and Jeremy took off. We packed up camp, ate breakfast, packed up camp, and so Rick and Jeremy left to go get brake fluid and meet me wherever they could on the way back, so that I would have brakes, hopefully. And then,
you didn't bring extra brake fluid with you? No, you had a brake fluid leak? Bad.
I topped it off. I thought that it must have been a really slow.
Why are you so predictable?
Yeah, I know. I know. So yeah. No, I did not use Rick's AAA. So I drove all the way down. So Rick and Jeremy left. I started driving down. Kravik stuck with Christopher to make sure that he would get down. As we're driving down, hey, we didn't see that before. There's a big rock in the road. So I lost sight of them and kept going really slow because I don't have any brakes. I'm not going to be able to do much to help there.
And he wasn't going to stop to help him if something happened.
Yeah, I was just going to keep going. Let's get some brake fluid in it, right? Finally, I ran across a group of guys that were coming up for lunch. They worked at a local dealership, and one of them just happened to be a Toyota mechanic, and he had some brake fluid. So I was able to put a whole quart of brake fluid into the Forerunner. That's how low I was. Yeah.
A quart?
A whole quart. Yeah.
That wasn't low. That's empty.
It couldn't have been a quart.
It was a whole quart.
The reservoir's like a cup.
No,
that means your whole system
quart.
was. Yes, yeah, but the reservoir is literally maybe a cup and a half.
Yeah. A pint. No, it was a whole quart. It was a quart.
A pint. Maybe a pint.
It was a
it's
quart.
Not very big.
And I used all of it because I dripped it out. So yeah, my whole system was drained. I have air in the brake lines. And so, but I had brakes again. I'd just pump them 4 times and then I'd have a full brake power. So yeah, we got down. I got down. Christopher was able to make it through the rock.
Through the rock?
Well,
made it by the rock.
He got by the rock. Kravik used his sliders to push it out of the way a little bit.
No, I think he did it on purpose. I think he just going by and just barely bumped it enough. It moved just a little bit. I seen it happen, but I stopped beforehand. I'm like, pretty wide truck, and that looks pretty narrow. See how well it goes. tried digging out a little bit and trying to move it some, but it was a good 1,000-pound rock at least.
Big.
Big rock. And he just watched me, made sure I went right by it. So
now, all right. So I'm getting arguments. It was a quart container of brake fluid.
So it was a quart container that had a little bit in it.
Oil.
Yeah. Okay, so when you held it, was it a little bit taller in your hand, or did 4 inches stick out the top?
4 inches stuck out the top.
Okay, that's a quart.
But it was a quart. It was a quart, maybe a quart container, but just it had this much fluid in it.
It was a full fresh container because I pulled the seal off of it.
All right, now this is where you have to be honest. How much did you drink before you poured it in the toilet?
None of it.
Well.
Oh, wow. I'm going to share this because it's so funny.
It's a rough problem to have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Whatever. You argue with me all you want, but I used the whole damn thing to fill it, and I managed to make it home with that. So, yeah. We stopped in Randall. I grabbed another thing of brake fluid, which is like a pint of it, like the little containers that they sell. And I drove home. I had to, like I said, it was 4 pumps to stop of the brake pedal. I haven't gotten a chance to investigate what's up because.
Did you have to add any more on the way home after?
Nope, didn't have to add any more. It was still full when I got home.
So, it's fine. It's fine then. Just run it.
I'm thinking it's a brake line that's leaking. I could be wrong. It could be the vacuum booster, but the vacuum booster hasn't been making any noises. I've been kind of looking into it when I've had a spare chance today of what it could be. Obviously, I won't know until I investigate it. So I'm thinking I might put it in the driveway, put some cardboard under the tires, and then run the car and push the brakes a bunch to see if I get anything to come out.
I just did some quick Googling. Now, your 4Runner braking system should be basically the same as a FJ Cruiser, right?
Yep, it's the same thing. It's expensive.
So for guys who want to flush their entire brake system, they recommend you use a quart. You had 0 brake fluid in your truck.
Yeah.
If you put a quart in, it was empty.
Yeah, it was empty, dude.
And there's no obvious leak now that you've.
That's bizarre. Yeah.
Well, and I'm wondering if it was like a temperature thing that allowed it to drain so quickly.
No.
I mean, I that was at the end of work that I topped it off.
So the hotter it gets, the easier it's going to be able to drain. But I mean,
well, we were doing a lot of wheeling in the snow. I don't know.
Yeah, but how much brakes? Like you have to use your brakes to get it hot. So how much were you wheeling in the snow? You're not using your brakes hardly at all.
Well, on the way there, I used my brakes getting there, going around corners and going fast. And then after that, I don't know. I didn't really use them.
Yeah, you got a huge leak somewhere.
Yeah. I've got to figure it out where.
Have you crawled under and like looked inside all the rim and tire and see? I guarantee one of those has brake fluid all over the inside, outside edge of your tire.
Yep, I'm hoping it's as simple as a brake line or a caliper gone out, like a piston's blown or something. I have a suspicion that it might be the front passenger side, where I had that. I had to replace that CV axle and that bolt from when I got stuck up on Greenwater, because my brakes were a little finicky after that, and I bled them, thinking that maybe I stretched the brake line too much or something, and maybe that line might be, have a leak that's progressively gotten worse. I don't know. I haven't had time to investigate now, but now the 4Runner is going to go up on stands, I think, for a while. I'm gonna repaint my bumper, maybe repaint the 4Runner, get my skid plates done, kind of just go through the entire 4Runner, do a tune-up. So it'll be along the lines of the entire off-road podcast as Broken Rigs for a little bit. if you want to count Aaron Samuelson.
Technically, I'm a co-host right now, and my vehicle is just fine.
There we go. We've got one guy.
Crap.
That has a wheel
No, I'm a host now, so that means it's about to explode.
I guess you just have to have guests that have working rigs.
There we go.
Something.
And apparently, I'm not going to get my skid plates done. We'll see. Hopefully, I will. Maybe I'll just find a stock one and throw it on there so I have something. Because right now,
Keep tearing the stock ones off.
Well, yeah, they're. Oh, I still have a bolt. I gotta get a broken bolt. I gotta get out of there too. I'm just terrible. I'm a hot mess. So yeah, I had like a trifecta of falling, brakes going out, leaving stuff behind. But
stuff.
Yeah, important stuff like recovery.
You're literally, it's like somebody's writing a comic book and you're the main character.
Bad luck
there. And like this, like they're writing a comic strip every week and it's just you getting just karma hard.
Yeah, I don't know what I did so bad in a past life or in my life that's, terrible Bigfoot. I don't know. Oh,
I'm guessing you invented the automatic transmission or something bad, like just disgusting, like.
So yeah, we stopped.
We came up with a Jeep Trailhawk.
Where did we stop? What was that restaurant?
Huff and Puff.
We stopped at the Huff and Puff again. Definitely, always a good thing to do is stop at the Huff and Puff and have some lunch on our way out. And then
you're gonna have to tell me what the Huff and Puff is, because
it's just like a burger restaurant side of the road, family-owned business,
small paw shop.
Yeah,
with real burgers and real shakes and all that.
Yeah, I had a.
And it's like cannabis stuff, or they just call it the Huff and Puff.
Yeah,
just call it the Huff and Puff. It's got like red walls and
it's an old logger restaurant.
Yeah,
loggers come down, get some food, and get a freaking burger because whatever's been sitting up there for the past 2 days.
Yeah,
What town is that in?
Randall.
That's in Randall. Okay.
Yeah, west side of Randall.
Yeah, and so on our way back, Christopher and I took a little detour, even though I didn't have brakes. We stopped off at the Rife Lake. Christopher and I grew up fishing on Rife Lake. Our grandparents took us up there. I don't know, felt like every weekend.
Yeah, every weekend or every other weekend at least.
We grew up fishing there, and Christopher hasn't been there. Are you laughing at that?
Yes, I'm laughing at that comment.
Yeah. Better than the rub and tug. So we stopped off at Rife Lake, kind of down memory lane. It's changed quite a bit since Christopher had been there last. About 25 years.
Yeah, something like that.
Like the road to the lake is paved now.
Yeah. Last time I was there, it was nothing but dirt log road.
Yeah. Now it's like fancy campground, and the fishing bridge was there last time.
Yeah.
That was about it. So yeah, it was kind of cool. We showed our boys, hey, we used to fish off this bridge. We've jumped off this bridge, and they're like, that's really deep. Well, the lake was really low when we went there. It was the lowest I've ever seen it.
Yeah,
so,
it's the Rife Lake's fed by the river, but the river's so wide and deep at that spot that it just looks like the lake extension of it. Now it's just the river going through there.
Yeah, so it's
So just to clarify, Rife Lake is fed by a river.
So Rife Lake is a man-made lake between two dams. So you've got landlocked salmon in there, and yeah. So yeah, it was cool. Shoot down that little memory lane and then head home and start unpacking. But yeah, I still have lots of
things were a little wet when I got home. Everything is hanging in the garage now.
Yeah, I've still got to bring stuff in and start drying it out. I've got to clean up my garage a little more so I can pop up the tent, and then I'm not sure how I'm gonna pop up the rooftop tent because it won't fit in my garage unless I take it off again. And
that'll be fine. Just leave it till next year.
No, I might take it to work and pop it up in the shop and dry it out in the shop at work over the course of a day.
Just don't drive through their doors or walls because you don't have any brakes.
Yeah, that might be a good time to fix my brakes too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that about wraps up camping Snow Camp 2 in 2021. It was fun. I was happy to go again, and I got to bring Christopher, which was cool because Christopher reintroduced me to off-roading when I went and visited him when he was stationed in Hawaii. Took me wheeling around. What is that? Oahu?
Oahu, yeah, up on Kiana Point, North Shore.
So yeah, it was cool to be like, hey, let's go do what I do now, and break and get stuck. So yeah, and Chris is retired now, so hopefully if he stays here in Washington, we'll get to do it more often together.
Brendan Fraser's retired too. I smell fish.
No,
I'm retired from the Navy, so I'm good on that one. I don't get paid nearly as much to sit on my ass being retired from the Navy as Brennan does from acting.
Actually, he does do Doom Patrol. I'm just saying. But you gotta have HBO to see that. So, all right. Well, I think that wraps up the show. Actually, if you're on our Facebook group, I'm gonna post up there probably tonight. If you've got a question for Radflow, we're having them on next week. They do coilovers and such for off-road racing and average everyday use. So if you got a question about suspension stuff like that, send us a message or whatnot, or post it on
If I have a Radflow question, do I have to send it, or can I just tell you?
You could probably just tell me, or you
because I have Radflows and they all need rebuilt, and I'd like it done pro bono because I'm an off-road podcast host now, co-host. So I feel like with great responsibility, comes free stuff.
I think you'll probably end up being here again next week, right? Right, Coy?
Perfect. Good.
There
I'm gonna propose a deal.
Work it.
The deal will be I send them my shocks and then they send them back rebuilt.
Yeah, dream on. Well, thank you, Rick and Christopher, for coming on, and Coy for joining me again this week. And thanks to everyone who listens to us weekly, and also those who watch us live on YouTube and Facebook and Overland Radio. We appreciate you. Please share us with your friends. Help us grow. God bless America. And yeah.
Don't forget to visit Patriot Patch and join the Patch of the Month Club. Check out our Gaia affiliate link for up to 40% off. Also, don't forget to head over to Warren and Power Tank to see all of their great gear. We are a proud part of the Firearms Radio Network. Got a question or comment? Send it to us through our webpage at firearmsradio.tv or through our social media channels by searching for Off-Road Podcast. Also, you can listen to us live at overlandradio.com, Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific. When off-road, please remember to have fun, tread lightly, be safe and courteous, and thanks for listening.
And Virgil, actually, Coy, you've got this coming up soon. Coy, when and where is that?
That's in just outside of Roseburg, Oregon, and I believe that's not this weekend, but next. So March 5th, 6th, and 7th would be the weekend. Let me look. Yeah, March 6th.
So yeah, check out the Champagne Creek
Off-Road Navigation Challenge. I'm going to be there. Probably a solid mid to backpack place, but still, I'm going to have a good time and burn some calories.
Last place.
That's just a decent possibility, yeah.